this one might be a little dark. I didn't realize how dark it was in this room until I went to start filming. This is my Necron Army. Now before you say anything, there are a lot of makeshift and homemade figures, but there are a handful of, well, pretty much the majority is regular figures. We do play 2nd edition, so we had to make some things because, well, they stopped making stuff for us. So we've got a squad of 5 destroyers. Definitely need more of those. I love those guys. We got a squad of 4 heavy destroyers. Got some Pariahs, a couple real ones, a couple makeshift ones. Not too happy with them. I don't know, maybe it's just me. These are my Lords. I got a Destroyer Lord, a couple regular Lords, the old 2nd edition Pewter Lord, and of course the Nightbringer. We got a couple Tomb Spiders. The dragon I'm actually using is the Void Dragon just to play test some rules we made up. He's alright. I prefer the Nightbringer myself. We got 5 Wraith. We got 2 of the old destroyers. Those are the 2nd edition ones when Necrons first came out. They actually worked like a land speeder, not like the destroyers do today. So I still have a data fax for them. We still use them. We call them Mark 1 destroyers now. This here is my homemade pylon. If you've seen the video for it, a friend of mine built that for me. We got 2 monoliths here and 2 monoliths there. You got the Doomsday monolith in the middle. Still needs a little touching up on that, but that came along pretty nice. Over here we got warriors. Lots and lots of warriors. And then these are actually skeleton models out of an old Games Workshop game, which when Necrons first came out I converted them and painted them just to play test and have some fun, and I liked them so we kept them and I still use them today. So that puts me at a total of 80 warriors. I do want to get another set of them because warriors are the meat bone of any army. Anybody who plays Necron will tell you that. I have some Flayed Ones here. Not too big on the real models. I have 10 of them here, one squad, but they're too fragile and I end up breaking them. Maybe I'm just too rough with my figures. But I did find these here called Jack of Blades. They're out of a different game, and I just bought a bunch of them and used them. They're actually made of a rubber. Oops. So they kind of bend. You don't have to worry about breaking them. And anyway, Scarabs. In 2nd edition, Scarabs were a force to be reckoned with. They have no ballistic skill, and they had a really crappy weapon skill, but they have a toughness of 8. And the main use of them in 2nd edition was that they, not only do they cause the disruption field, which I believe they got rid of that too in the new rules, which gives anybody within 6 inches, I think it is, a -1 to shoot, to hit. They also eat metal. So if you get Scarabs onto a tank, for every Scarab on the tank, the armor value dropped by 3. And this is 2nd edition rules, so where a tank usually had, 18 to 20 armor, 22 on some of the bigger tanks, 3 points did make a big difference. And then you got, 4 of them on there, and you're losing 12 points of armor. That hurt. So they tend to get gunned down. And they're one of the few things that don't regenerate and get the will be back rule. At least in 2nd edition. And you got a handful of, yes, they're actually rubber spider, but they work for Tomb Spiders. I have to paint them just to make them look better, but like I said, the Tomb Spider model was discontinued or something. I couldn't find it for the longest time, so I picked those up cheap. These are my homemade Obelisks. There's a couple here, a couple more over there. And I did a little short video on them. They're made of foam attached to a Heroscape base. And a little cylinder in the middle just for detail. Put some runes on them eventually. And we got a Immortal squad. And these guys here are my proxy model for Immortals. But these, I do have some real ones. And A bunch of different, I think there's 15 or so of them. Now we get into the weird stuff. And here, these actually came from a website, it's a fan site, that, well, I broke one of them, that covers 2nd edition stuff. And they made these, they're called Sentinels, I think. Yeah, these are the Sentinels. Sorry, still getting the names right. But they're actually supposed to be a little bit smaller than these, but I found these and they worked perfect for what they are. And grab a guy here so you can kind of see how big they are. They're a little bigger than they should be, next to the Pariah there. But they have a flux arc gun on either side. And then they have, and here's a twin-linked heavy Gauss. Those are actually Gauss rifles, but hey. And yeah, I got a couple of them. They're interesting. They die real quick. They're on par with a Predator for damage-wise. Now these here, actually a Halifax droid from Star Wars, but we used them as another fan-made thing called a Decimator. And it's basically the Necron equivalent of a Dreadnought with living armor. And I believe they have a twin-linked heavy Gauss and something else on them. But later on we found these models, which are actually from Terminator. They're a little bigger, but I think they fit the look better. So those are what we're using now. And for the last final piece that everybody's going to laugh at me for, people have been writing all sorts of reviews and stats and everything for a thing called a Tomb Stalker, which is the Necron equivalent of a Titan. It's supposed to be like a giant version of a Tomb Spider, but I've been so busy building the game table and painting figures and painting scenery that I haven't had a chance to actually build one. So for the game, and you're going to see it in our upcoming game, just because I'm poor and lazy, we're going to be using him. Yes, I stole one of my son's Bionicle figures. But he's good size for a Titan. And he's green. So it's only a temporary thing until I get a chance to build. I already have some ideas and some sketches drawn up for him. So, but anyway, that's my Necrons. Like I said, most of them are real figures. I've got a handful of custom things, and that's what happens when you play an edition of the game that hasn't been around for close to 10 years. So we have to kind of make some of our own things. But I gotta get back to painting, and I'll post these up, and hopefully we'll get that battle report done soon.